stopped the Phoenician Park Hotel. Shots have been fired. We go now to our chief news correspondent, Malcolm Fitzgerald, reporting live from the scene.
Hey, whoa, this is a closed crime scene, no press.
Come on, Blue, just a little peek. You know, a story only comes like this once in a lifetime.
Move along. No story here.
Give me a break. You can hear the gunshots all the way down from 9th Avenue. And that radio signal.
Move along.
Come on.
This is Dirk Montage of the scene. This is a crime scene. We can't do anything without him until he does his thing. Oh.
Yeah, I heard you. Hey, Dirk. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Just did.
That was real funny. But seriously, what happened here?
Oh, I know, man. I just got it. You've been here longer than I have.
Yeah, but come on. Tell me anything.
All right, you're annoying. Leave my crime scene. I'll call you when I'm ready.
You're on the scoop.
Oh, come on, Dirk. That's real low, man. Don't do it like last time.
All right, Dirk, what happened? All right, crime scene. Speak to me. All right. There's a lady in a red dress. All right. A guy running through, scaling up a tower. Cop and a gangster going toe-to-toe. Runs up the building through the window. Gets his head smashed in the window 3 times. No. It was 4. The guy almost falls off the side of the building. Somebody, a mystery man. Who are you? Runs up on top of the tower. Who are you? Wait. It's a person singing, an animal, a goat singing. What? Shop through that window. There was a swing, a dance number somewhere. Swing dance, why? Another cop gets thrown from this building. 2 girls fighting in a window. No. Think. 2 guys fighting like girls in the window. Somebody falls from that window. I got it. Hey, rookie. Bring that reporter back in.
You got it. The bills. Oh, okay. I totally got this under wraps.
Hey. Yeah. So we know there were shots fired. Car chases. What you don't know is there was a party up here. The thing that started it all was a lady in a red dress. And she was singing.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life. And I'm feeling good.
my dinner plate tonight. I also had some suede wingtips that I ain't wearing right now. And which one of you can tell me where they are? None of you? Come here. What are you? No? What are you, Ryan Gosling from the Notebook or something? Listen, you little punks. I want my cheese and my shoes now. Okay, we're playing the no game. Okay, I'm real good at that game, yeah. Can I introduce you to somebody? Okay. Minions! These people say they don't know where my shoes
up here, Dirk?
Well, that's the question there, Scoop. I don't know. Find out who that man is, what he says. This whole case will be blind, blown, and wide open.
Detective Montage.
I'm Mr. D.A. Good, I'm glad you could join us. Listen, I got a story for us, all right? It's kind of mind-blowing. I think it's corruption. It goes all the way to the top. You got cops, gangsters, everyone looking at this guy.
Get out of here, you dirty reporter. The only reason I want press on my crime scene is if they're in the middle of a chalk outline. Get him out of here! You're sloppy, Montage. And you're a disgrace to the entire department. But not anymore. Your badge.
Mr. District Attorney.
Your badge.
If you give me a minute to explain, there's corruption. It could go all the way to the top. Let me find out who that man is, what he said, and then...
Your badge! That man has been a menace to my city for too long. I want every cop in this city out on the streets searching through every gin house and card room until they find him. And bring him down.
Got it. It's a gin house. Who is that man?
Now, Batman!
It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life.
People of Mercury City, listen, learn, and behold. There is no completion apart from my guidance. There is no peace apart from my presence. There is no clarity apart from my voice. I am your link to the past, your lamp to the present, and your guide to the future. I am Phoenix Dark. My end will be the beginning.
And I'm feeling good.
People of Mercury City, listen, learn, and behold. There is no completion apart from my guidance. There is no peace apart from my presence. There is no clarity apart from my voice. I am your link to the past, your lamp to the present, and your guide to the future. I am Phoenix Dark. My end will be the beginning.
It's a dog-eat-dog world. I've spent the last few years hiding under a porch. I'm an ex-cop. I used to wear a badge on my chest, but now all I got is a chip on my shoulder. I'm a private eye. You can call me
Dirk Montage.
Excuse me, Mr. Montage, there's a dame here who'd like to hire you. She's in
please? Would you excuse me a moment? Mr. Montoya, can I come in?
Oh, I really wish you wouldn't.
Mr. Montoya, this woman has a case for you. You need the money. If you don't take this case, you're gonna have to cut me loose, just to be the least.
But I'd write you a glowing recommendation.
But I got little ones to take care of, and she seems real upset. You might be able to help her.
Tina, beat it.
And what do I tell the dame, Mr. Montoya?
Whatever gets her out of here the quickest.
What if she refuses to leave?
Well, then she might as well make herself comfortable. I could tell from the moment I slapped irises on her. This broad was trouble. She looked like she stepped down off the nose of a B-17, all curls and rouge, but hiding a past that could roast a city to ashes.
I need a private investigator.
Well, as long as you don't need a good one, we're in business.
You seem like a man with a lot of regrets. My friend would say, your mistakes don't define who you are as long as you let go of them.
Look, lady, I need a paying client, not a shrink. You got a case for me?
This friend I'm speaking of. A few hours ago, he was arrested.
Well, yeah, what was the charge?
No one could really say. The courtroom was a madhouse. The cops said treason, the DA said conspiracy, the judge only said one word. Guilty.
You got arrested tonight? The trial's already over?
They sentenced him to the chair 15 minutes ago. They're pulling the switch at dawn. Please, Mr. Montage, Phoenix Dark is innocent. I know life's been hard for you, but somewhere inside, there's got to be a shred of humanity left that still believes in good.
Sorry, lady. City Hall wants to ice your friend. I ain't risking frostbite by getting involved.
I'll pay triple.
Like I said, I'm gonna take your case, because it's the right thing to do. I just have one question. Why does this mean so much to you? Why stick your neck out for this guy?
Because he did the same for me once. Life's hard for a dame who's alone in this world. So what if a woman disappears one night and washes up on the riverbank the next morning? Who would ever notice? He would. I've never seen nobody move like that before. He was like smoke on the wind. Just when you thought they'd get their hands on him, he'd evaporate. It was inhuman. He stood before all of them and said, "You can all walk away. My fight is not with you." They pulled a gun on him and well, I'm not sure what he did. But I think he threw something at them.
So what was in him?
Looked like photographs. I didn't see it what.
So then what happened?
They just all took off. 1 second I'm saying my prayers, the next minute I'm left alone with I'm still not sure what he is.
Well, did he say anything to you?
Do they still condemn you? Nor do I. They will not take your life. Please, daughter, stop giving it away.
Maggie, did he say anything to you?
Nothing I care to repeat right now. He's innocent, Mr. Montage. And the evidence is out there. You find it. Please.
So, Mr. Montoya, she seemed to not be so horribly depressed as when she first came in. Do we have a case?
What we got is a lot of questions and very little time. Brew some coffee. It's gonna be a long night. That was only half true. I was working this case with no leads, and if I didn't get lucky soon, this case would be dead in the water before the minute hand pointed north again. But luckily, I had an inside track. Most of Phoenix Dark's capers were pulled in the Slinger District, and no one knows that part of town better than my good friend. Yeah! Crankshaft McGuire.
Dirk Montage, my old friend!
You've been ducking me, Cranky.
I don't know nothing!
I haven't asked you a question yet.
Alright, fine, I'll tell you. The combination is 10, 21, 87.
Come here.
What?
Pay attention, Crankshaft. That's not why I'm here.
Oh, well then you must be here for the secret.
Problem with a stoolie like Crankshaft McGuire is sometimes they get so many secrets rattling around in their brain box, they get a little mixed up. Phoenix Stark, tell me everything you know. What?
Phoenix Dark? Why didn't you just say so?
But you're messing with the formula here, Crankshaft. Usually you run, I stomp on you, then you talk. That's our routine I'm comfortable with.
Well, yeah, but Phoenix Dark? Come on, I love talking about that guy.
So talk.
Well, everyone in the Slinger District has heard the crazy stories. Magically transforming beverages into other beverages, feeding hundreds of people with one bowl of soup, raising a dead girl back to life, and making a paraplegic able to walk again? I could go on.
So go on.
Well, Phoenix Dark stories get passed around the street from wise guy to wise guy, and you never know how much of it really happened. But a few weeks ago, I finally saw him in person. Some guy brought me in to work on the radiator in his hideout. I never got a name, but the money was the right color. And there was one guy in that room that really stood out. All these guys were buzzing like a beehive on espresso, but not him. And even though he was napping in the corner, it was like he was the center of attention. And I could tell these were serious customers. So I wanted to just finish my work and bail. But then... now it's pandemonium in there. No fire escape. The door's jammed. We're doomed. So you've got grown men running around and weeping like a 5-year-old girl with the skin knee. Guess what Phoenix Dark's doing about it?
I'd rather you just tell me.
He's sleeping. So now his guys are hopping around him trying to shake or shock or shout at him to wake up. The guy's like a coma patient. And then...
Then what happened?
then nothing. The fire was gone, and I took off.
Well, did Phoenix Dark say anything?
It was something like, why are you afraid of a little heat when I'm here with you?
I've been on this case for an hour and I already feel like I'm 10 years behind. Crankshaft McGuire may have a few loose marbles upstairs, but he's no fool. If he says Phoenix Dark can silence a blaze with the wave of his hand, that's what happened. So if the evidence keeps panning out, then Phoenix Dark can make amputees walk, command fire, and bring people back from the dead. This leads me to only one conclusion. This guy cannot be human. I've had a few hours to follow up on those leads. Butchers, teamsters, secretaries, paperboys, housewives, and grocers, all who swear on their life that they saw those crazy things happen before their eyes. Despite my gut screaming at me like I just ate a Polish dog with horseradish and wasabi, Detective Grumwork keeps insisting that fact number one holds water. Phoenix Dark is not human.
Yes, Mr. Plouffe, I understand that he gave the blind guy his sight, but I was wondering if you could point me to someone who might know him more personally. Like a friend or an associate. Mr. Plouffe? Well, that must be Officer O-Young.
That's Sergeant O-Young. I'll thank you to remember the stripes.
Shouldn't be too hard. Never have trouble remembering the smell.
Totally worth it.
Was it work too?
Nope.
told you. Assault me in front of a witness.
I didn't see nothing.
That's because you're a fine, upstanding citizen there, Mr. Plouffe. As for you, we're getting reports about a gumshoe causing trouble. Bothering good citizens with a lot of worrisome talk about a condemned criminal.
What's he look like?
Well, he's ugly, he's poorly dressed, and he's crawling on the ground. Chief wants a word with you, you little lowlife.
I'd be delighted to meet him. Well, if it isn't my old friend, Captain McAnthony.
Chief, McAnthony to you, boyo. A lot's changed in the last 5 years. But some things will always stay the same. You're still bottom-feeding scum.
And you still say the sweetest things. But you didn't bring me all the way down here to talk about old times? What's wrong?
What's wrong, ye spotty wee lowlife? Is that I've got a PI wandering the streets of my city, spreading vicious rumors.
What exactly am I saying?
Your investigation is calling into question a criminal case decided by our honorable court system. And I will not have that in my city. I'm talking to you, you shiftless raggedy bum. Ah! It's no wonder you got stripped of your badge.
Maybe I should have followed your career path. Friends in low places, right, Captain?
Why, you cheeky little vagrant.
I'd still have my badge if I was dropping notes for the Mafia. How much is Sledge DeLuca paying you now, anyway?
You're on thin ice, Flatfoot!
Whatever dirty work you did for Sledge DeLuca, you must have made him really happy. You went from sergeant to top copping in 4 years. But how many bodies had to wash up on the riverbank to pay for this office?
We seem to have gotten off topic. I know we have a complicated history, so I'm going to simplify this for you. The case is a dead end. Phoenix Dark is guilty. Drop the case! Or there'll be one more body on that riverbank. Take out the trash, please, Sergeant Young.
Excuse me, Mr. Montosh. I was wondering if you had time tonight to...
Smash Everett.
Stop in and pay a visit to Aunt Edna. She's having trouble with that faucet again.
What about that conversation made the chief so mad? I never thought for a moment he was actually in the Mafia's pocket. But he really got sideways when I mentioned Sledge DeLuca. Could the most feared and hated mob boss in the city actually be behind Phoenix Dark's arrest? Maybe this Smash Everett can tell me. I don't know who he is or what he does, but I know the chief wouldn't want me talking to him, so that's as good of a place to start as any. I wish I could play this slower, rather than stepping out in public for the whole world to see. But the guards are already heating up the chair, and the clock is ticking.
Smash Everett, I'd imagine.
Why are you looking for me?
Look, I'm here to exonerate Phoenix Dark.
I don't know Phoenix Dark.
But I've seen you in a picture with him.
I don't know Phoenix Dark!
I don't know what kind of baggage you're carrying, but Phoenix got hauled off earlier tonight. Long before that sun rises, he's gonna be a pile of...
I don't know Phoenix Dark.
Maybe if I was 10 years younger and no young hadn't played xylophone on my ribcage, I would have chased him down. But something tells me that mook's only gonna talk when he feels like it. And I ain't got the time. It's time to find a new lead.
Wondered if you'd be back.
So you do know Phoenix Stark, don't you?
Of course I do. But I wouldn't say that with Officer Billy Club here.
Fair enough. Phoenix Stark.
Phoenix Stark. Where shall I start? I've known him my whole life.
Then maybe you can help me explain something I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around. Now, the things that he can do. I know some say he's not human.
Not human? Of course he's human. Just ask his mother.
Phoenix Stark has a family?
Of course he do. I knew his mother, his stepfather. Him and his siblings practically growed up in my store. He and them used to live about 10 blocks that way. Now, he's got an apartment in my building. Off the record, of course.
For not being human, this guy sure has a lot of trappings. Fact number one is unquestionable. No human can do the things that he does. But I'm a detective, and detectives ask questions. To my dear friend Phoenix, who made an orphan feel like a daughter, Scarlett Malloy.
Miss Malloy, could I have a word?
Sure, what do you need?
Phoenix Stark, I'm looking at...
Oh, you looking for the dirt on Phoenix Stark, eh, buddy boy? You must be some kind of sad sack of potatoes to be schlepping that droopy old horse face door to door, looking like the catch of the day wrapped in yesterday's newsprint. And I'll tell you another thing. You may be dressed in the finest thread cup that Borgen & Burke's discount rack has to offer, but you won't get another ring-a-ding-ding out of this speech bell than a cotton clapper dressed in a feather boa.
I have no idea what you just said.
I said I don't talk to the press, especially about the kindest brown-eyed minstrel that's ever crossed my path.
Miss Malloy, I'm not the press. I'm Dirk Montage, private investigator. Maggie Delaney hired me to get Phoenix Stark out of the news.
That repaints the landscape, but I still can't help you.
Why not?
Because I don't know anything about Phoenix Stark, except that he's the kindest human being to ever scrape 2 feet over cobblestone. And that won't overturn a conviction, especially in a town where the judges keep the hangman in their pockets.
Why don't you tell me what you do know, and I'll work with whatever I can find.
You ever been sick, Mr. Montage? One foot in the grave, the other in debt up to your ears, sick? Dying slow is a costly venture in this country. I went from wearing the finest clothes in the finest places to getting doors slammed in my flannel-clad face. No one wanted to catch what I had, and they weren't shy about saying so. I'd heard the stories about Phoenix Stark, about the things he could do. But to get to him, I'd have to push through the crowd. If their peepers landed on me, they'd paint the ground red with old Scarlett Malloy. But that's not what happened. His scarf was a-billowing out behind him, and I reached for it. The moment I felt the hem flick my fingertips, everything changed. I was cured. I was free. I could feel it from my scalp to my toes.
No offense, ma'am. I've heard this all before. His powers, his abilities. I know they say he's not human.
Wait, not human? He knew. I don't know how he knew, but he knew. I was sick for years, Mr. Montage. Years. I was conned by doctors and abused by every snake oil merchant and flim-flam man that ever crossed my path. I've been kicked and beaten because people were afraid to catch what I had. Phoenix Stark knelt down and looked me in the eye. He held my hand. He called me daughter. That makes him the most warm-blooded human I've ever met. what makes him the most warm-blooded human I ever met.
Fact number 2. This guy is definitely human. I should ask for more money. Again, the questions bounce around in my head like my temples are playing ping pong against each other. Who is Phoenix Dark? He's definitely not human. He's definitely human. But what about this paradox makes him so dangerous that City Hall would fast-track him to the hot seat? Why are so many people scared to talk about Phoenix Dark? Then I remembered what town I'm in. If people are scared, they're scared of the mob. And in this town, all organized crime can be summed up in 4 syllables. Sledge DeLuca. Sledge DeLuca.
Who are you?
I'm the guy who's gonna kick your teeth in if you don't let me pass.
Whatever. Listen, you little worm, I'm gonna...
Open the door, I'll keep pulling.
You're stupid! I'm gonna... Okay.
No, I want my money now. Not Thursday, today. You got until 2 p.m. or I come down and teach your house how to turn from wood to ash. Mom, I got to call you back.
Mr. DeLuca, Dirk Montage, private investigator.
I could have told you that by the cheap suit and the soup stains on his tie. All right, Mr. Soup Stain, what can I do for you?
Tell me why you had Phoenix Dark arrested? Why you want him dead?
Very rarely are men brave or stupid enough to walk in here and talk to me like this.
Maybe not to your face. You got a lot of funny nicknames around town.
Mug, Bug, break his arms. Phoenix Dark, you say?
That's right.
Sorry, Soup Stain. I'm not the one that sold him up the river.
It's not good enough.
Chief McAnthony did come to me and ask for some consulting work on that issue. But I'm an entrepreneur. What do I care about politics?
Politics?
The chief said he'd be very grateful if Phoenix Dark had a tragic accident. You know, like if he fell down an elevator shaft under some bullets.
Why would the chief want Dark gone?
I don't know his reasons. You're gonna have to ask him. I just know that I told him, I ain't getting this guy's blood on my hands. This guy is your problem. Last I checked, he ain't gunning for my job, so you deal with him yourself.
What do you mean gunning for his job?
Let me tell you something about men with power. The only thing that scares them is losing it. No price is too high, no crime is too low to keep from having to call another man boss.
Thank you for your time, Mr. DeLuca.
Soup Stain! I let you walk in here, rough up my boys, and walk out alive just because I found you crazy enough to be entertaining to me. But I get bored easily. Next time you walk in here, you best be a whole lot more polite or a whole lot more interesting.
Phoenix Dark is still a little more than a blurry photograph, but the edges are starting to come into focus. Is he a criminal, a philosopher, a revolutionary? Whatever he is, he's got the powers that be scared enough to get their hands dirty by working with the mob. Buddy, you okay?
No. I'm pretty far from okay.
Do I know you? You're Scary Jude.
And you're the detective. You still on that case?
Yeah. Yeah. I know the police chief wanted Phoenix out of the way. I just don't understand why.
I might be able to help you there. See, I chipped in with Phoenix because he was gonna overthrow the whole corrupt system and start over. And I was gonna be part of that. Part of the inner circle. But the longer I spent with him, the more I realized that wasn't what he had in mind at all. There was no glorious future for me. No freedom from the police chief or the mob. So I cut my losses and I went to see what the other side could do for me. I mean, the chief was full of ideas. He even paid me 30 large just to open the door for his boys. I mean, hey, if Phoenix Stark was the real deal, this would have been his opportunity to show it. And then when I brought the fuzz, it was bedlam. They beat most of us unconscious and it would have been a bloodbath. Smash effort here took a guy's head off, but just like the fire in the loft, Phoenix Stark turns chaos into silence. He didn't want anyone to get hurt. Not our people, not the cops. He'd let them take him. I'd seen Phoenix Stark do some crazy powerful things, but he just let them lead him away in chains. He was so calm, so at peace. And I knew I'd made the biggest mistake of my life. I don't know why I did it. I was greedy, I was stupid. But why the chief of police? What did they profit by destroying the most amazing, wonderful, powerful, and compassionate person ever to walk these streets?
There is no completion apart from my guidance. There is no peace apart from my presence. There is no clarity apart from my voice. I am your link to the past, your lamp to the present, and your guide to the future.
No, son. That's my job. Phoenix Stark thinks he can take this town from me? Tell these people he's their future? Kid. When a man comes along saying he's your boss, you can either follow him or destroy him. The only thing you cannot do is ignore him.
Phoenix Stark had ideas. My end is the beginning. He just wanted to make things right. Bring sanity back to this crazy world. I guess we would have had to turn over the keys. Let him drive.
Whether you're the president, mob boss, police chief, or civilian, no one likes being a passenger. You gonna come down off that ledge?
No. The sun will be up in a couple hours, I think. I'd like to see one last sunrise.
Mr. Montoya, glad you're here. I was wondering about the paint samples for the new...
Phoenix Stark told people he was the only way to this bright future. But that paradise has a price, and not everyone's willing to pay that. So you can fight him, or you can follow, but you can't avoid him forever. Fact number 3. This guy is too important to ignore.
Excuse me, Mr. Montoya. There's some gentleman here to see you.
Send him in.
Mr. Montoya, we'll see you now.
Well, if it isn't our old friend Dirk Montage.
Translation?
You'll have to excuse my brother here. He had an unfortunate accident. He slipped, fell, landed on a lead pipe with his face.
Well, they do say that 37% of all accidents do happen in the workplace.
Easy, man! Easy! Remember what Dr. August says. I'm proud of you, little brother. But Mr. Montage does have a point. A lot of accidents do happen in the workplace. And if I'm not mistaken, we're in your office right now. Right, Mug? Ain't that a shame? My brother, he can be clumsy at times.
Butterfingers. You got a point, Moretti?
Simply that you're making a lot of waves these days, Montage. Ruffling a lot of feathers, busting a lot of chops. And no one really knows whose side you're on.
Maybe I haven't decided yet.
Well, you better figure it out soon, Freckles. You can't go on playing all sides forever. Things have a way of collapsing.
Like Jenga.
That's right, Mug, just like Jenga. Now, Dirk, when you decide who your boss is, you gotta stick with it, regardless of the fallout. That's just a fact of life. This may be your office, but I've seen your work all over the city. And in a workplace that size...
Oh, ain't that a shame.
Accidents will happen. On the other hand, it might be safer just to pick a side and stay there. Mug?
Oh, Mr. Montoya. You were so brave. And the way you stood up to those thugs like that. And you held your ground. And you... Mr. Montoya?
Pack up your gear and you're leaving town. Does your mom still live in Wampoke? Does she live in Wampoke?
Yeah.
You're taking your kids and you're gonna go stay with her.
But you were so brave. You held your
It's
ground.
the Mafia, Tina. The Mafia. You have to go. Now. Here. I'll pay for the cab. Just go.
No! Mr. Montoya, I heard the whole thing. Just drop the case and don't leave us alone.
I can't!
Why?
There's something about Phoenix Stark. Something elemental. I have to keep digging. I have to understand. Go. I don't believe it.
It was great. She gets off the plane and 100 guys line up to meet her and she walks straight to me and then she asks me for my autograph. Could you believe it? The most beautiful woman in the world asking me. I look great that day, by the way. Hey, the press, come on in. I'm always pleased to welcome the press into my home. I'm Biff Malibu.
You already know that, of course, don't you? I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah, right, yeah. Yes.
So what magazine did you say you were from? What? What do you want? What do you want?
Phoenix Dark.
All right, people, come on. Let's go. Get out of here. Party's over. Come on, get.
Sir.
Come on, Maya. How much is this gonna cost me to keep out of print?
Just the truth.
Ah, the truth? Now, that's a whole lot less than what he asked for. Phoenix Dark was the next big thing. Everyone was talking about him. If I could get in his inner circle, then people would be talking about me.
He had a spot for me. He said he would have taken me straight to the top.
But the price was too high. So what did he want?
Everything? So my money, but not my property, right? So my money, my house, my cars, but not my career, right? Come on. Everything?
So what was the problem?
What, are you insane? That might be an acceptable price for the hobos and the fishmongers that follow him. But look at what I have. How could he expect me to get rid of all of this? And don't you think it was handed to me? I've shed tears and blood for this empire. Have you any idea what I've sacrificed to get where I am?
But you know what he's capable of. I mean, following him could have been a prize beyond imagining.
Yeah, well, he could keep his imaginary prize, and I'll keep my stone-cold piles of cash. Chongo! Show this reporter to the door.
No. Might not have your fancy house or very fine-looking mustache. Something tells me you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, well, if it's a percentage of the mess he's gotten himself into, I'd be delighted to miss it.
Again, my mind is flush with questions, and answers are elusive like snipes in the forest. Why do I feel so confident that Phoenix Dark's dream is such a tangible, real thing? What gives me such assurance that this prisoner headed for the gallows is the real deal? Most importantly, why is there someone in my back seat?
Smash Everett.
And you're the detective? I'm ready to talk.
About Phoenix Dark? I remember somebody swearing up and down they didn't know the guy.
It's been a long night.
Okay, you ready to talk? So talk. Although at this point, I feel like I can guess.
Well, go ahead then.
You're another one of those. You found out that following Phoenix Dark had a price. You weren't willing to pay it. What was it you were unwilling to pay? Was it Daddy's trust fund? Grandma's inheritance?
You know nothing. I did give up everything. I was never rich. I worked the fishing barges for 10 years. It wasn't much, but it was a living. I walked away from my job, my family. I have nothing to go back to.
So what happened?
What happened? When push came to shove, I bailed. He was on a ham radio call too. I'm not sure, but he did it every night. Suddenly, there were uniforms everywhere. I smashed some poor cop's ear, but then I got scared. I just ran. I kept running until you found me in that alley. You know, yesterday he tried to tell me I was gonna sell him out. Bail on him and act like I didn't even know him. I told him he was crazy. He's Phoenix Dark. I probably should have assumed he knew what he was talking about, right?
So what are you gonna do now?
What do you mean?
You gonna plan a rescue? You gonna bust him out?
With what? Phoenix Dark is the miracle worker. I'm just the guy that ran away.
What good is it to hold on to all your wealth and fame, but lose your soul in the process? Then again, what does giving it up get you? Smash Everett had a seat at the table, but it didn't buy him a mansion on a hill. It didn't even buy him a vote. Whatever Phoenix Dark was planning, he wasn't setting up some glorious new democracy. Phoenix doesn't need your input. He doesn't need your money. But maybe, when you let go of all those things, you can finally be useful. There's no shallow end in Phoenix Dark's swimming pool. You can't follow him halfway. Just like those two thugs said, you gotta pick a side. Then you gotta live with the consequences. Fact number 4. With this guy, you're either in or you're out.
Sir, it's being done as we speak.
And is everything under control?
Yes, sir.
Then there should be no need to bother me.
Right.
Officer Flanagan, weak hip, prone to limping. Stomp to inside of the knee, followed by elbow to the jaw. Duck under glancing strike. Palm strike to solar plexus, finish with rising knee to face, rendering Akina breathless. Block, right hook, connect fist to jaw. Officer Piercy, suffers from vertigo. Rupture eardrum.
Hey!
Huh?
Why are you saying your plan out loud?
Huh? Stomp to the inside of the knee!
If your hopes rest on him, my dear, get used to disappointment.
Don't count on it, Chief. You don't know Dirk Montage. He's a real wild card. You'll never see him coming.
Come on, you gutless curs. Give me your best shot. Oh, jeez. I got her.
I hope.
Oh, you had enough? Oh!
Face it, boyo. You're done for. Your precious Phoenix Dark's about to ride lightning. Any last words?
Yeah. What rhymes with trash?
Remember this bad boy? You got this?
This is your last chance, Montage. Walk away. I'll give you to the count of 3.
I won't. Why'd the chief send you to get rid of me? Am I getting too close? What is it that I know that's so dangerous to you guys?
It's not what you know, it's what you have.
What?
The file. The one you stole off the chief's desk.
There's nothing in that file. I've searched it for hours. I can't even find a single piece of useful information.
Exactly! That file contains every piece of evidence we have against Phoenix Dark. None. The cops, the DA, the judges. We all wanted him gone.
You have no case? They have no case.
It makes sense, a twisted kind of sense, but in a town this crooked, it's the only kind I'm likely to get. I couldn't find any proof of Phoenix's innocence because he's never been proven guilty of anything. This file has to be enough to stay the execution. Once it's delayed, we can declare a mistrial and... But first things first, I need to get to police headquarters. number 5. This guy is dead.
Come in, Burke. Have a seat. I'll go on and keep it. It cannot hurt me, nor help you. Not anymore.
You arrogant, corrupt, gutless piece of trash.
Don't sugarcoat it, my lad. Tell me what you really think.
You led an innocent, brilliant man to his death, and for what? Because you were afraid he might win an election? He might mess up this precious system that you have, a system that allows little children to starve while you fill up your pockets. It lets the mafia operate with impunity while it strangles the life out of families and communities. This is what was so important to you? That you had to blindly herd this man to his slaughter.
You give me too much credit, lad.
And now I'm going to give you too much lead.
I didn't lead him blindly. He didn't fight the charges.
What are you talking about?
The prosecution threw together such a sloppy case no jury would have bought it. Their witnesses disagreed with each other. Their evidence was laughable, but Phoenix Doc just sat there, no matter how crazy it sounded. He just let it happen. He could have fought the charges and walked out easily. I don't think they even needed to strap him to the chair. He wasn't going nowhere.
Fact number 5. This guy died willingly. Case closed.
April 3rd, 5:49 a.m. Samuel McGee Corner inspecting subject 316, given name Phoenix Dark. Cause of death, electrical execution. Burns on the wrist. Back and vertex of skull, consistent with such. Clothing has been removed for processing. Vitals. Carotid artery, negative response. Pupillary response, negative. Myocardium, negative response. Rigor mortis has started to set in. Examination confirms subject Phoenix Stark deceased. You ready? Yeah. Oh. So who is this guy?
I don't know.
You look like you've gotten some rest in the last few days. I mean, you look nice. Thanks for being here, Mr. Montage.
You shouldn't have to go through this alone. You don't have to go through this at all, you know.
I know. He'd be there for me. It's the least I can do.
You ready?
Yeah.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
How did you guys do that?
Welcome to the beginning. Phoenix Dark.
I've got to tell everyone.
Fact number 6. Death cannot stop him. You know, I was just looking for you.
Well, you found me. But who is Phoenix Dark?
You're the man in charge. The guy who calls the shots. I'm the one that follows.
Then tell them.
Who?
Everyone.
People of Mercury City, take notice. The one we've waited for has come. His
powers make him beyond human, and yet his compassion makes him profoundly human.
His destiny makes him too important to ignore. You must choose to follow
him, or choose not to. But either way, you will reap the consequences.
He died. He died willingly.
But death could not stop him. And now a day will come when we will all kneel before the man in charge. Willingly or otherwise.
Time draws short. The hour's near. Choose. Choose quickly. Because a dark and silent world is depending on you.
Millions have not heard his name. And your voice is the only Phoenix Dark most people will ever know.
This guy's day is coming. We need to be prepared.